Hello.
Hello.
We're recording again, and this time we're married.
Woo! Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so good. I can't believe we actually got married, though, with all that's going on.
Yeah. Well done, us. We just managed to get married abroad and get back into the UK.
It was obviously meant to be.
The weather was amazing.
It was so good. Still got my tan.
You look very tanned.
Looking good, yeah.
Even I mean, after all the tanning booth action that I did, I actually look all right tan still.
Yeah, but how much factor... What was it? Factor...
50 plus.
50 plus for sensitive skin.
What was funny was when we were out there was suntan lotion that looked like it should say sunburn, but the way the letters had aligned, it said sun bum. That made me laugh. I liked that.
And that was factor 70?
So that was factor 70.
I bought some for next time. Not next time we get married, next time we go on holiday.
I was going to say. Great, moving on. Do you remember the people that we saw in the bar who were locked in the most epic card game of all time?
Yeah, it was huge, though. It took up 2 tables.
They laid out about 50 cards each, it seemed like.
Our table had like loads of margaritas.
8 margarita glasses.
Yeah.
Well, I found out what that game's called, and
yeah?
it's called Catan.
Oh, yeah.
Now, did you know you can get Catan on Nintendo Switch?
What?
Genuinely.
No.
So, do you want to play that for next month? All right.
My colleague at work, I mentioned this in the office, and she said, "Oh, Catan." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I have it. It's a German game that's just been, translated into English, and it's amazing." And then when I showed her the 3D version, she lost it.
Oh, really? So,
yeah.
Life changer. All right, we'll play Catan in next month's episode.
This is the Naked Gaming Podcast with Lee Milner-Barrow and Chris Milner-Barrow.
Are we going to stick with that? I mean,
It's a bit of a...
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It's a mouthful. Let's just stick with our own names for now.
All right.
Just on the bills, it's under your name. Our name, sorry, our name.
Yeah, that's it. Now, if you missed last month's episode, we looked at why some people are paying Germans to train them to become better FIFA players.
They try to implement, let's say, a certain skill move or a defending technique, but they miss out on a crucial point and still do a mistake there.
And this month, well, I think a few people will be at home with a bit of extra time on their hands, whether it's isolation or being home from school or having the kids at home, of course. So we're going to go through some game recommendations, and we're also going to look at the Gaming BAFTA nominations with our red carpet correspondent, Alex Rhodes.
Yeah, we've been social distancing from him.
Yeah, correct choice.
I do that anyway. We'll also look at the impact this new coronavirus is having on the gaming industry.
Yeah, how are some people coping with isolation?
I'm now officially self-isolating after waking up with a sore throat and this croaky voice I have now. As grim as that is, at least it gives us a chance to catch up on the mountains of games we have uncompleted.
And did we mention we got married? Well, on the plane home, we decided to sample the in-flight entertainment and some of the games that you can play. There weren't many to choose from.
Tag luggage by selecting the correct shipping symbol.
It's like having a job.
Right, go on. Make a mistake on the bag. Rescue it from the back row before your boss has to. New releases this month include Metro, Last Light Redux on the Switch. Could it pave the way for proper first-person shooters to come to the handheld console world?
Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? It could really be the kind of the original, the Pathfinder for the Switch. Also, I've been playing the Ultimate Edition of a game called Pillars of Eternity 2, and it's long.
For Retro Revival, we've got our hands on the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, and Alex Rhodes has been playing a marriage simulator.
Did he feel left out?
Yeah. He couldn't leave us alone on our honeymoon. It's called Wedding Planner Game.
Can you imagine if Alex actually planned our wedding?
Flowers here. Lovely little pink carnation. Okay, right, makeup time. This is an important part. Oh, hang on, this bit's locked. This bit's locked because I'm refusing to pay any money. Maybe this is a pretty accurate wedding simulator. After all, if you want all the good bits, it costs loads of money.
It would probably be quite good, actually.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, yes, I do think it would be good, actually. Okay. Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, exactly.
So subscribe to the show so that we can afford to buy a house and more games, please, thanks. First, coronavirus and Lee Milner-Barrow. All right, just Lee Milner.
Yeah. It's too much of a mouthful. It's too long.
I'm so glad we did that. Lee's been looking at the impact that COVID-19 has had so far on the gaming industry.
E3 2020 has been cancelled. The Electronic Entertainment Expo was due to take place later this year in June, but because of fears surrounding the coronavirus pandemic, it's been called off. It's a big hit for gaming companies to take. They often reveal their biggest and best new games there. But many will host their own events online instead, streaming live content, so there should be still lots to look out for. One event, the Vive Ecosystem Conference, was held entirely in virtual reality, using VR headsets. Fine if you've got one, but I bet they'll be playing the new Half-Life Alyx at the after party.
Oh, God.
They've got Dad. They're gonna find out what he knows, and then they're gonna kill him.
All this is my fault. I never told you. I couldn't. I'm so sorry, baby.
You will not save him. Alyx Vance alone cannot prevent his fate.
Close your eyes, honey.
Pokemon Go was huge when it launched. Everyone was trying to catch them all. And normally the best way to play is walking outside, holding your phone and visiting different landmarks. But with social distancing becoming the norm, Niantic, the developers behind the game, have taken steps to make Pokemon Go playable indoors, including items that attract Pokemon to you, making eggs easier to hatch, and Pokestops refresh faster so you can stay in one place for longer. The manufacture of consoles like the Nintendo Switch has been affected by factory shutdowns, and with school closures, mandatory work from home policies, and lockdowns taking place around the world, more people are gaming than ever. Steam on PC drew a record 20,313,000 concurrent users recently. That's a lot of gamers. Online gaming services have collapsed under the strain, though, including Xbox Live and Nintendo Online, which have both suffered outages. Finally, midnight launch events have been cancelled for Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom.
The only thing that pleases me is that there's a chance that some kids will be at home for a fortnight playing Fortnite. But I get
How long have you been wanting to say that?
I've been waiting for months. Although it is a difficult situation, so everyone stay safe out there.
Stop kidding around. Snake?
Rhiannon Bevan, who reviewed Sonic the Hedgehog, the film, for us last month, has gone into isolation. That's what you do if you get any of those symptoms, maybe a temperature or a bit of a cough or whatever. So what games is she planning on playing in isolation?
So like many of you, I'm now officially self-isolating after waking up with a sore throat and this croaky voice I have now. As grim as that is, at least it gives us a chance to catch up on the mountains of games we have uncompleted. Myself, I just started Night in the Woods on the Switch. It's a nice little indie title about the awkward stage in between not being a teenager anymore, but not quite feeling like an adult. It's very story heavy and very relatable as a 20-something. It also mainly just consists of walking through a town and talking to people, so it's very easy to play while you're in bed coughing your lungs up. The next one on my list after Night in the Woods will be Final Fantasy VII for the PS1. A content-heavy RPG is perfect for self-isolation, really, and it will prepare me for the upcoming remake on the PS4 next month, if that still gets released. Clocking in at about 40 hours long too. Hopefully that will make the week fly by. So with all of that, and not to mention new releases like Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing New Horizons, the gaming industry might just be the only industry that comes out of this pandemic alright. We all have enough free time now anyway.
Thank you, Rhiannon, so much for that. Rhiannon Bevan there, who's a brilliant gamer anyway, and a great film critic as well. Stay safe.
Busy night, but there's always room for another.
Now, if you're stuck indoors and you're feeling a bit down, then you might like to know about the nominations for the BAFTA Games Awards. It could help you choose to buy something new. And back after last year, once again donning the virtual tuxedo, is our Red Dead carpet correspondent Alex Rhodes.
Let's start with the most bonkers game of them all, Death Stranding. This weird kind of walking simulator stars Norman Reedus off of The Walking Dead. Sometimes black ink comes out of nowhere, and your character is attacked by invisible monsters. The madness is obviously appreciated, as it has 11 nominations, which is the most in gaming BAFTA history. But it isn't nominated in the Best Game category, perhaps because it's not everyone's can of Monster Energy.
What's the other mark from?
Clingy woman in a cave.
I see. Aphanphosphobia. Sam, I owe you an apology. Lou was
was the name you were going to give your old baby if he'd have made it? I should have pieced it together sooner.
Don't know what you're talking about.
BAFTA also announced that Hideo Kojima, the creator of Death Stranding, will receive the Fellowship, the highest accolade it can give.
I'll see you on the beach for the grand finale.
Also with a record-breaking 11 nominations is a game called Control. You play as Jessie, who has supernatural powers. She can fly and use telekinesis to throw massive rocks at enemies, and presumably, on a quiet day, take out the bins and things.
This house. At first, many people thought it was horrifying. But also, many people wanted to welcome the hiss in. Funny.
Control passed under the radar for many, except for this podcast, obviously.
It was really good and imaginative, quite creative. The fact that you can move things with your hands.
I've never seen a game where you have so much power over the environment.
Well done, us. Just one more to mention, Untitled Goose Game, which has 4 nominations, including Best Game. You rampage around a small town as a goose, annoying the residents and stealing various items, including glasses and a bra. We'll have the results for you next month. I'm off to play my new favourite game, Animal Crossing: New Horizons. That island isn't going to build itself.
Thanks, Alex. How on earth did he manage to get a copy? We're still waiting for ours. The Gaming BAFTA Awards will be announced on the 2nd of April. We'll have a full roundup in our next episode.
Can I just interrupt to say that I personally rated Death Stranding as a 9 out of 10, if you remember, and Control also got a 9 out of 10 on this podcast. So we were there ahead of the curve. I'm just saying.
What do you want, a gold star?
Well, or a BAFTA, personally.
We are ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Don't ever doubt that.
Subscribe to the podcast right now. Anyway.
So picture this, right? We're flying back from our honeymoon.
Yeah.
You know, all loved up.
Bit knackered.
Got a few G&Ts going on.
Quite some G&Ts.
The captain puts on the mood lighting, or rather the lighting that you put on to have a nap.
There was a screaming child for 10 hours.
Yeah, we just tried to ignore that. So anyway...
You couldn't.
11 hours together.
Yeah.
New married life. And what selection did we have of games?
So there was in-flight entertainment. You did this on both flights. You put on a horror film.
And I fell asleep.
What's the horror film? It's called Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Why does it make you fall asleep?
Well, I don't know. You know.
You like to be terrified in your dreams.
Terrified to sleep.
And then we moved on to the games. Here we go. This is us on the actual plane.
So we've got Hangman, Tetris, Luggage Lane.
Do you want to see what Luggage
what's
Lane's
that?
like?
Luggage Lane is an action-packed game where you take on the role of a check-in agent. Oh, great! I used to want to be a check-in agent when I was younger.
Process luggage as fast as you can.
Go on then.
I mean, we were going to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but this sounds so bad.
Sounds so good. Still loading. By the way, everyone's eating their dinner and we've literally smashed ours. Tag luggage by selecting the correct shipping symbol.
It's like having a job.
Right, go on. Make a mistake on the bag. Rescue it from the back row before your boss has to. Right, quick. Right, or you're literally the check-in agent. Tap the bag, quick. You're just gonna. Oh. No umbrella look.
So basically,
okay, we'll just keep up with it.
It's millionaire time, baby. Right.
Now, what's the highest you've got on this?
$1 million. On the flight, when we went to get married, I got $1 million. You got the £1 million
I got the £1 million question, right?
Which was someone who loves the letter M is a mesophile something. Anyway.
Right. Let's go. Let's do this.
One game only.
Where's Chris Tarrant gone these days?
There's no theme tune on this, so we have to do the music ready. You're singing quietly. I love it.
Okay, so this is the only decent game on the whole entire selection of games.
From our Switch.
Oh yeah, we've been playing Mario. What is the name of the current president of the United States? John Lennon, Salvador Dali, Barack Obama, or Isaac Newton?
By the way, these questions are about 10 years out of date, so it's Barack Obama. $100. Which I could have done with, actually, at the end of our holiday.
Yeah. Good.
How much? Just predict how much we're going to win.
I think we're going to get up to about 250, then we always fail.
Oh, yeah.
Batteries require recharge.
Yeah, this has gone well so far. No lifelines used.
We're only on $500.
That's how much extra I had to pay at the end of our wedding.
Look, it was worth the massage. Who is the Duke of Edinburgh? Prince Philip.
I feel like we should give all the options for people playing along at home, but we're not going to because they're too easy so far.
Hang on, I'll do the next one then.
All right, do your best, Chris Tarrant.
So, who is the wife of Bobby Grant in Brookside? Is it A. Hannah, B. Marie, C. Suzanne, or D. Sheila?
I've actually got no idea. Audience?
Audience, mate. Audience. They think it's D. Sheila. Sheila.
They love Brookside, the audience.
They smashed it. $4,000. It's not $3,000. $4,000 in the bank.
You're a screaming child, by the way. That's been going for 10 hours.
And if you got that right, by the way, congratulations. How come the lady opposite's got a Kit Kat? We didn't get a Kit Kat. Who composed Così fan tutti?
Can you imagine if I got this one wrong?
Do you know this one?
I did a music degree, mate.
Go on then.
It's Mozart.
Oh, smashed it.
Finally.
That's why I'm marrying you. You just won us $64,000.
I wish it was pounds, though, because it would be about... It's actually the same amount nowadays, isn't it?
How many gold medals has Sir Steve Redwood won?
I think I know the answer.
Is it A4, B5, C6, or D3? Go with 6, mate. Go with 6, mate. Go on. Go on. Oh, you...
It was 5. It was 5. It was 5. I'm so sorry. Would you have taken the money, just out of interest? $500,000.
I wouldn't have partnered up with you for starters. I'd have won the $1 million.
So close and yet so far. It was fun to play Who Wants
I
to Be a
can't believe
Millionaire.
we got to $1 million. I know we didn't record that one, but we honestly, believe me, we did.
We won
did.
$1 million, but on a different flight. But on this one, we massively failed. But it's nice to play again. You forget how good of a format it is.
It's good, isn't it?
Good game, anyway.
We did have a few gin and tonics, to be fair. So, I mean, that was our prize.
Okay, that's our excuse, and we're sticking to it.
You're listening to the Naked Gaming Podcast with me, Lee Milner, and Chris Barrow. Now, I don't think there's been many good new releases this month, has there?
There hasn't really. So I've been playing a game called Drone Champions League, where you race drones. It's a nice concept, but it's really difficult to race drones, it turns out. So I'm not very good at that.
Do you remember when we reviewed Mario Kart on the mobile?
Let's open it up. Let's get ready. Let's go. Let's go, as Mario says.
Our mushroom correspondent, Alex Rhodes, he has so many names, bless him.
He does.
Thought he was beating all these people online, when in fact, they were just computer-controlled opponents. Well, they finally released the multiplayer mode on that game.
Yeah, I played this just to try it out. The first race on the phone against real people, it went 3-2-1, and then it said, a communication error has occurred. Please try again. That's good, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
But second time round, it was actually better and a bit more fun.
Oh, okay. Now let's go on to our first proper new release this month. Metro Last Light Redux has just come out on the Nintendo Switch. It's one of the first proper big blockbuster first-person shooters to come out on the Switch, so it's an exciting time. Could it pave the way, though, for other shooters like Call of Duty?
We seem to forget everything we have learned.
So how was it?
Yeah, really good. Surprisingly good, actually. When you play the Switch, you don't imagine playing a shooter game.
No.
Because it's
a bit too compact.
Yeah, the only thing that was difficult was a normal shooter, the controllers are designed for it, right? But I was playing in handheld mode, so you're holding the screen there, and my right thumb started really hurting. Because you had to do a lot of aiming.
Right.
And the way that the angle is, it just hurt my thumb. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas if you put it in those little detachable controllers that we've got for it, much better. Really, really good, though. There was only a couple of visual glitches. You know, it's called Redux because they're supposed to have worse graphics.
Is it better than Call of Duty?
No, but this is the first Switch
Yeah.
game that they've had as a proper first-person shooter. But genuinely, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's that good.
okay.
It's so good. And I really enjoyed playing it originally. You can get it now on Switch for 23 quid as well, so quite cheap. You can also get Metro 2033 Redux, which is the game just before that, and it's exactly the same price. So if you want first-person shooters, check them out.
Now, one you might not have heard of, it's called Pillars of Eternity 2. It's the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. They released the Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Ultimate Edition recently, and you've been playing it, Chris, so what do you think?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, actually.
Yeah?
I don't tend to play this kind of game.
What's it about?
It's kind of weird. It's like... Did you ever play, like, tabletop models, like Warhammer?
No. Do
You know
you
what
think I'm the sort of person to play that? No.
But can you imagine if you were playing a game and you could move the characters around, it kind of looks a bit like that. The camera looks down on all these little model things.
Like a chess piece?
Yeah. Imagine like a big game of chess from above. It's basically like that. There's loads of text and loads of choices, and if you haven't played the first game, it doesn't make any sense, which I haven't. Lots of stats. It's like Dungeons and Dragons, basically. Yeah, I thought you might do that. Also, this has been out for a few years on PC. It's just come to the console, though. The controls just are so fiddly. You need a mouse.
So who would like this then? Because this is not up my street.
No, you'd like this if you like Dungeons and Dragons and rolling dice and Baldur's Gate.
Right.
I would say it's probably a 5 or a 6 out of. It's probably a 5 out of 10 for me personally. But there's so much content that you get for this this Ultimate Deadfire edition. So if you're looking for a game that could last you 70 hours and maybe you're in isolation, then it's a pretty good choice for you.
Give me Spyro any day.
Spyro the Dragon, it is. It's also got the title's too long. That's my final criticism.
Wow, okay, enough of that. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire Ultimate Edition is out on Xbox and PlayStation, as well as being out on PC as well for a while. It's only £35, so if you like this style of game, not me, then it's worth a look for so much content. You're listening to the Naked Gaming Podcast with Chris Milner-Barrow and Lee Milner-Barrow.
I thought we decided to just...
Oh, I don't know.
It's
growing on me. It's growing on me.
I did actually manage to change my bank card.
Mate, don't.
Have you done yours?
Yeah, it took me like 3 hours today. It took me, honestly.
How many did you...
I drove to Loughton and it was closed because of coronavirus. And then I drove all the way to Chingford and they were closing because of coronavirus. But I said to the man, please, I just want to change my name on my bank card because I've been married. And he was like, yeah.
Mine changed my name, but they didn't put a hyphen in it. And I said, excuse me, but can I please have a hyphen? And they went, oh, well, I'll have to fax head office. So have you got a hyphen?
Yeah, man.
Oh, well played.
Now, it's retro revival time where we play old school games that have been re-released. Finally, there's a chance to get your hands on a playable version of the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Look, I'm involved in things. Dangerous things. So keep your distance.
What was his name again?
Cloud Strife. This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money.
Now you can download this new demo from the PlayStation Store. It's very simple. You head to the PlayStation Store. Yes. You type in Final Fantasy.
Yes.
You go to Remake. Then you go to the game page. And then you scroll down twice. And then you press download.
Right.
And it goes, there's not enough memory on your PlayStation. So you have to delete Call of Duty because apparently it's taking up 132 gigabytes.
Of course it is.
And then you repeat those first 6 steps and then you can play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Nice one.
Can I just say, it's really good though.
I never doubted that it wouldn't be good.
Well, the thing is, what they've done is they've totally remade the game. So it's the graphics are incredible. It's like Resident Evil. You know how you played the old school sort of rubbish version of Resident Evil? You've been recently playing it on the Switch. And also that huge remake that we had on the PlayStation, Resident Evil 4. This is exactly like that.
They've upped the game, haven't they?
Huge.
They're so good.
The only thing that's different, if you're a real old school fan of Final Fantasy VII, you might not like the fact they've got rid of the turn-based fights. That was the biggest thing about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
So, you know, you press A, you slash the bad guys, then they slash you, etc. This time it's more real-time combat.
Oh, okay.
Which is a very big change-up.
I prefer that.
That's what makes the game kind of fresh. They're twisting the plot, apparently, but you don't get that far in the demo.
Right.
So you don't know so far what they're going to do. But honestly, it has the potential to be a 10 out of 10. At the moment, it's 8 because of the demo, but...
We'll come back to that.
Now, it costs £60, so it's quite some money.
That is pricey.
It is, but I think people are desperate to get hold of this game. It's coming out on the 10th of April on PlayStation 4.
Well, at the moment.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing about this. It looks like the digital version will come out on April the 10th, but if you've ordered a physical copy, it'll be sent out later because of coronavirus.
Sure.
So the other thing is it's releasing in multiple parts, which is really weird. I've been trying to find out what that means, but I think that part 1 is available on the 10th of April up to a certain point, and then part 2
How
down
bizarre.
I know. So I can't find the
Games
answer.
don't usually do that, do
No,
they?
I've never heard of that before, and I cannot find the definitive answer for you. So I'll have to get back to you next month. But you'll be able to play something to do with the game on the 10th of April.
One quick game to mention, Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection has just been released for Nintendo Switch. It contains Mega Man Zero 1, 2, 3 and 4, as well as Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent. And it has additional save points.
Can I just say, why are games nowadays called such stupid things?
Yeah.
Like we had Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, which also now, isn't the Olympic Games being delayed? But then you've got Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, you've got this Deadfire 2 Ultimate Pillars of Eternity. Why don't they just call it something normal like Control? It's so weird. Anyway, it costs around £25 for Nintendo Switch, and it's one for fans of Retro Revival. If you like Mega Man, you will want to play this collection.
You're listening to the Naked Gaming Podcast with Chris Barrow and Lee Milner.
Oh, you were going to say that.
Just mixing it a bit. Just mixing it up.
Let's move on to our Simulator of the Month feature. And we got married recently. I don't know if we've mentioned it or anything.
We mentioned it.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be a good idea to get our eligible bachelor and social isolation expert, Alex Rhodes, to play a wedding simulator. Yeah, I knew he'd love this.
Yeah.
To see what married life is really like. It's called, imaginatively, Wedding Planner Game.
Hello, Chris and Lee. Alex here. I've suddenly found myself with a bit of extra time on my hands. Like a few people, really. So I thought I'd review another game for you guys. It's Wedding Planner. Another great game on the App Store. This one's by Coco Play. I thought it's only appropriate after you guys celebrated your nuptials, of course. Here we go. Wedding Planner, dress up, makeup and cake design game for girls. Well, not just girls. Should point that out. First, groom dress up. Click. Oh, here we go. Here's my little avatar. So I can pick what he looks like. Nice little blonde look. Jacket. Top hat and tails, you know. I know Chris decided to go with lederhosen, which was a bit of a controversial choice, but I suppose, you know, it's up to him, really. Okay, so that one will do. What sort of tie? Dicky bow, yeah. Again, Chris wore that spinning one that, you know, I think he was expecting a bigger laugh. You know, it's a tough crowd sometimes, your closest family and friends, but... Right, okay, so that one's picked. Oh, here we go. I thought it was just going to be... Oh, right, now I'm picking the sort of, the backdrop for the wedding. Okay, so... Oh, they've picked a beach. Like you guys. Flowers here. Lovely little pink carnation. So the groom's waiting there. Flower girl's walking along. You can hear her throwing the flowers there. Okay, the bride is stepping up. I haven't had a chance to pick the bride yet. Is this it? Have I? This is the quickest wedding ever. This is like a Vegas wedding. Oh, pick the ring. Okay. Let's pick a nice blue stone. I know Chris obviously had to go with that Haribo ring as that kind of cute gesture, but I thought it was a great way to hide the fact you're broke as well. Okay. Oh. Okay, now, so moving over to cut the cake. This is like a 3-tiered wedding cake, not the Colin the Caterpillar cake that you guys had. This is like Fruit Ninja now. You've got to swipe across and cut the cake. They're eating the cake. Okay, right, makeup time. This is an important part. Oh, hang on, this bit's locked. This bit's locked because I'm refusing to pay any money. Maybe this is a pretty accurate wedding simulator. After all, if you want all the good bits, it costs loads of money. Gown design, here we are. This is the real thing now. So you get the tape measure out. I don't have to do inside leg, do I? Oh, crikey. Breeze past that. No, okay, now time to pick the dress. Time to pick the dress. This is the kind of... I don't really have the word. I don't know the words for this. The bodice bit? Yes, let's go with that. Okay, and then... Mermaid. Yeah, let's go with classic mermaid. Oh, the sleeves. Okay. Well, she likes it. Good. Oh, you see, now we're doing the hair, but that's locked too. All the good bits are locked here. Well, I'm sorry, love, but you're just going to have to go with unwashed hair. Just tie it back in a ponytail. Bob on top. Yeah, well, so this game, it's pretty basic. It wants you to fork out loads of money to play any of the fun bits, like a real wedding, I guess. But yeah, I'd probably give it a miss if I were you. Not your wedding, but this wedding. This wedding. Your wedding was memorable. Yeah, that's what everyone was saying. We'll never forget this wedding. Said the police, actually, when they arrived as well. We won't get into that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your lives together, guys. I mean, well done on tying the knot. And if you're looking for wedding planning games, don't bother with this one. You can find much better ones out there.
Thank you, Alex Rhodes. I wonder if his girlfriend is listening to this and going, uh-oh.
I'm glad he didn't plan our wedding. No way.
Yeah, I think it would have been fun times.
Stick to games, mate.
Wow.
Weddings aren't your thing.
Wedding Planner game is free to play now if you really have to play it. Well, that's it for this month. Thank you for tuning into the Naked Gaming Podcast with Lee Milner and Chris Barrow. Well, I think it's just time to have a bit of a relax, isn't it? You know, get back to some gaming.
Yeah, on a serious note, though, for anybody out there, it is a worrying time, but this is also a time to maybe just take some time out for yourself, relax a little bit. If you've got the kids at home or, you know, just maybe download a few games.
It's the thing to do, isn't it? We've heard some...
Thanks, Bailey, for that contribution.
If you've got a rabbit at home...
He hasn't been fed his dinner, that's why.
Is he actually not had dinner? Is that why he's so grumpy? He's learned how to stamp. He just goes like that.
I want my dinner. Anyway, no, on a serious note, you know, you've always got games to fall back on.
I think also if you can't see your friends so much, it is genuinely not a bad idea to maybe hook up and, you know, Call of Duty, for example, if it's the sort of game that everyone can have a go at, if you're over the, you know, over 18 or whatever. So maybe have a think about that. Fortnite as well. I just hope that the internet doesn't go down, genuinely, because people
What else will we have?
Well, people are working from home, so they go, oh, I can't do that. And then you can't watch Netflix because they've reduced the bandwidth. They've reduced the quality of Netflix. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I just everyone take it easy, and we'll be here next month doing it all over again, recording from home, social isolation.
Keep 2 meters away from me, all right? We always do anyway.
Gladly.